Article 21 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, under the Bill of Rights, that is chapter 5. I read clause 1 to D. Clause 1 says, all persons shall have the right to A. Freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media. B. They shall have the freedom of thought, conscience, and belief, which shall include academic freedom. C. They shall have freedom to practice any religion and to manifest such practice. And finally, D. That's where I'll stop. They shall have freedom of assembly, including freedom to take part in processions and demonstrations. Here in the studio, a number of citizens took to the streets to exercise this freedom in Article 21, Clause 1D, and got arrested. 54 of them, 53 now on bail. Killian Kofi Komashi is an activist right here in the studio. Thanks for making time to join us, Killian.
Thank you, Samson.
Also here is Field Marshal Ayi. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So, as I just read, the Constitution is very clear that you have this right to exercise.
Yes, sir.
And you went out to exercise this right.
Yes, sir.
Will you say you fulfilled all that you needed to fulfill before you undertook this exercise?
Greetings to your viewers out there, my colleagues here. If I don't think I understand correctly if you say if we fulfilled everything before we engaged in this exercise. If you could clarify that for me.
I suppose you know that before you undertake a demonstration,
the notice to
as
the police
guarantee
and all of
what
that.
you're supposed to do.
Oh yes, so all of those were satisfied. I mean,
Okay.
We had several engagements. I think it was just a day before the event was our last meeting with the police. Yes.
Right.
So all of those were the Public Order Act. I think you're making reference to. Yes, all of that was satisfied. We did everything. There was a back and forth with the police when they're trying to get us to move to different locations.
Right.
So all of those were done. The police had actually given us 7 alternative locations to pick from. Yes. So no, there were several deliberations with the police up to the day before the event.
Right.
So all of those were
The
satisfied.
first day of the event was
sir.
peaceful. There was no any issues, correct?
Relatively. It was on the first day that we had some of the flags from certain political parties being burned. Yes.
Right.
That's on the first day. That's when most of
Okay.
these things happen.
It was on the first day that we see in the footages that have been shared where there was some burning and there was some blocking of roads.
Yes, that happened on the first day. Yes.
Killian, let's get to the detail of that. Is it true that you blocked the way to an essential service provider, the 37 military hospital?
Not true.
Interesting question. Is it good afternoon or good evening?
This afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your viewers.
Well, you've been in custody for only 14 days or so. You've lost your your direction as to
But where's something?
the time.
Prison world not different, you know.
I know.
Oh boy, Chineke. Prison, not different world entirely. And I thank God this guy took me to the prison. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Samson, I will tell the entire world why Killian was arrested on Sunday and was taken to prison on Tuesday. Today, I will tell the entire world. To be honest, I wasn't part of the protest on Saturday.
Okay.
I took part in a Catholic laity week. I started on Tuesday. Monday, I was at the gym. I closed very late. But on Tuesday to Saturday, I took part in it. Saturday, we concluded on Saturday, did the church activities. I have to do some weeding in the church compound. I've gotten to a point in my life that I can hear the voice of God clearly. Not to that extent. Don't go anywhere. Stay at home today. So I stayed at home. I monitor my friends on social media. I didn't join them. On Sunday, immediately after Mass, the Mass boy called Ajaman took me on Okada in my church dress. The way I dressed was the way I dressed for Mass on that Sunday. As I was approaching the Elwak Park, I saw, the demonstrators. They were chasing them towards the Elwak Road. I could spot a RAF. And I said, what happened? So I alighted at the St. Michael's Catholic Church.
RAF is this guy with Democracy Hub.
Correct.
Who was arrested when he was going to Kumasi Airport.
Correct.
Okay.
So I saw him in his camouflage.
He was arrested on account of the NDC's demonstration.
Beautiful.
Where he's accused of being the one who opened
the cathedral.
The cathedral.
The cathedral. The $58 million cathedral that we've sunk, that the biggest swimming pool in the entire of Africa, right, where clergymen sat on that, but what a shame.
So let's keep the focus. So good. You saw that guy as you got to
as I got to St. Michael Catholic Church, I alighted from the Okada. I saw a little girl. The mother was dragging the girl. The police was dragging the girl right in front of St. Michael's Catholic Church. So I went exactly close to the scene. I was bringing out my phone from my bag. There's a police officer, a lady, that carried back nyash, excuse my language, fair. She just, hey, step off the road. Quickly, I jump off. Before I know it, this lady came close to me and started pushing me. I said, madam, don't push me. Before I know it, the officers there, the male, all surrounded me. Hey, leave here, leave here, leave here, leave here, leave here. There's a gentleman among the police officers. The name is Noah. I picked the name. He escorted me gently to the Bonsui side of Tota. I was there, I was monitoring. Like 2 minutes, he came back again and said, sir, they are calling you. I said, I'm not coming. He said, look, I escorted you gently, let's go. Immediately, I agree, I got there. I don't know whether this is a senior man, just say, you're under arrest. I said, officer, under arrest for what? He said, you're under arrest for demonstrating. That you. I saw you on Saturday, your beer. I said, what has my beer got to do with it? I said, officer, Saturday I was not here. Mm-hmm. I did not take part in the protest. He said, you're under arrest. I saw you. I said, show me the video of me killing Kofi Komachi demonstrating here on Saturday. Then I asked him, is demonstrating a crime in Ghana? He didn't say anything. And I asked him, the president, the commander-in-chief, has he not demonstrated several times in this country? In his active political days now as a president, they all kept quiet. Before I know it, say you're under arrest, bring your phone. I say, my phone, that's my personal property. I can't give it to you. My phone, I dragged with them for almost like 15 to 10 minutes. I dragged with them till they took me to their bullion van car with burglaries and co. I went there and I saw most of my colleagues inside the car. I joined them. Quickly, I have to send a message to my sister. 1 or 2 guys that went to the police headquarters. They didn't know that it was a police headquarters they took us to. They thought it was a CID. I got to the police station, that's the CID, before I finally handed them over the phone. I didn't off it. So the calls were coming in, I didn't know. Samson, like I said, I will tell the world why Killian was arrested and why we were taken to Insawam prison.
You were taken to Insawam?
Yes, sir. 11 of us.
Before or after you appeared in court?
No, before we appeared in court. And I will narrate everything that happened in court.
You came from Insawam to court?
Yeah, no.
And then denied bail and went back to Insawam. Is that what you're saying?
From the police station, the CID, they took us to Insawam, Odoko. I was taken to Odoko police station.
Right.
Cell. On that Sunday evening, a lady was taken to, Kaneshi cell. Toboli. She was taken to Kaneshi. I was the second person that was dropping, Odoko cell. So on Tuesday, they came in the morning to handcuff me like a criminal. Someone that has stolen Ghana's money. Someone that has concession that has destroyed the water bodies.
So the correct narrative is this.
Yeah.
You were arrested and taken to police custody.
Yeah, police custody.
And then you appeared in court on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
And then remanded into prison custody.
Correct.
Okay. Hold on briefly for
Thank you.
Now, Field Marshal,
yes,
the question I asked.
Yes.
He was about to answer and then he went to tell his story.
Right.
What is your answer to that claim that beyond the burning of party paraphernalia, defacing posters as alleged, and we have seen videos of that, and taking roadblocks to the road and playing soccer on the road, you did not block access to people who were going seeking medical help at 37 Military Hospital?
Right, so the videos will show every emergency vehicle car that came was allowed to go through. I was one of the people who gave the directive to every other person, let all the service cars pass. except for those that were carrying military personnel and then police personnel. Those were allowed to turn back and go. But emergency services cars were all allowed to pass. Now, the reason why it seemed the roads were blocked where we were at the intersection was that the police had blocked the road further down from where we were. But they were somehow allowing cars to come directly where the protesters had gathered. Now, we had great concerns about that. That was not safe. We could not allow cars to come directly where we were, right? So we sought to divert the cars. We were hoping the police would have taken this up and did that themselves. But if they did not want to do that, we were responsible for everyone that was in there. So we sought to divert the cars away from where the protesters were. So we did not block the roads because we just wanted to block the roads. We're looking at diverting cars from coming close to where the protesters were, trying to save and protect our own. And this was supposed to be the responsibility of the police, but they didn't do that. What the police had done was they had set up their barricades, and they were standing behind the barricades and not allowing anybody. In fact, no one was even trying to go beyond
at the 37 runabout.
The intersection, yes,
okay.
yes. No one was even trying to go beyond it. But they had just blocked, put the barricades there and were standing behind it, and that's all they were doing. Except for the individual policemen who were pressmen who were walking around taking videos and pictures.
All right. Before we get into some other side of this whole story,
yes.
Your time in court and the back and forth, which is the main area we want to pay attention to because this is the law.
Right.
And that's what we do here. We discuss the law. Right. Do you think that it was possible that in blocking access, you said you granted access to emergency services.
Yes.
It is possible that somebody was in their ordinary vehicle, it's not an emergency vehicle, and they are going to the hospital and they were in need, and yet you could not have identified them.
No, we did, because some of us were actually walking in between the vehicles. Personally, I was doing some of that. There was a lady, we had allowed one ambulance to pass. It was running a health service, so carrying somebody to a funeral. 2 vehicles were carrying some of the family members of the deceased, yes. So right at that intersection, they were parked behind a white pickup vehicle. I think the videos are out there on social media. I approached, the woman was crying and saying, we had allowed the ambulance to pass, but then they were stuck in there. Right. We opened up and then let them pass. There was one taxi that came in with someone in the back who needed emergency services, yes. What the police did was they did not open the barricade. The taxi had to redirect and use the back gate. And we actually raised issues with the police there. I think all of these things were captured on some of the videos we have.
So you're saying it is a police blockade
yes.
at that time?
Yes.
Not you?
Not us. Because anybody who came, there were some people who had been called to duty. So it was not an emergency themselves, but they had been called to attend to emergencies. All
right.
Once they showed their card identified as health professionals, we allowed them pass.
All right.
So the claims from the police is, and all these issues will be taken to court. Yes, I don't really want to say too much, yes. But,
you're right.
But at no time did we prevent people from accessing the hospitals. At no time did we prevent emergency services from getting to the hospitals. All of that is a false claim, and the video show.
Okay, and all that, those claims that form part of the body of what the Attorney General is prosecuting will be left to the court because that's where they'll be determined. Burning of whatever it is. Martin Kpebu joins us very soon to share some views on legal education on some of these matters. We are having a conversation with the persons who took part in the Democracy Hub demonstration and got arrested, and now 53 of them are on bail, with the exception of Oliver Bakavomawo, who was refused bail. A good number of them are joining us on Zoom as well. Let's see if we can get a brief, view of those who are joining via Zoom and what they have to share with us as well. We have about a dozen of them joining us via Zoom. We want them to tell us their stories as to what they went through. So at what point were you arrested?
I was arrested on Monday. Okay. Monday at about between 3 and 4 p.m.
Monday was supposed to be the last day of the demonstration because it was 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
For Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The important dates which you chose specifically because of Nkrumah's day.
Yes.
Right. How did your arrest come about?
Right. So on Monday morning, I had to go to work. So we had a meeting, and then one of my other colleagues came to pick me up from Jowulu. But on our way, that's when we heard most of our guys were being arrested. So those who were out, who were not picked up, yes, we decided to converge and then decide what we're going to do forward. So we met at Vienna City, at Seco. We're having a few drinks when the police just barged in on us and said everyone's arrested and picked us up. So we're not arrested anywhere close to the protest grounds. We're actually arrested at Vienna City, at Seco. Yes.
What were you told?
Nothing. So ideally, we were expecting when you're arrested, you'll be told your Miranda rights. Yes, your right to remain silent and all of those other things. Yes, none of those things were said. We're not told the reason for our arrest, nothing. It was just that usual rhetoric they always throw around, order from above. Yes, but we kept insisting, why are we arrested? And how do you even know we are the right people you were sent to pick up? They only said, we've been asked to pick you up. Who? Order from above. That's all that we're told. In fact, I didn't know why I was arrested until we got to court. That's 2 days after. Yes, on a Tuesday. No, on a Wednesday, sorry. Yes, that's when we got to know this is why we have been picked up in the first place, yes. Like I said, we're not picked up anywhere near the protest grounds. We're arrested at Vienna City, at Seco.
And as you said, you were not told anything.
Nothing.
But you appreciate that you are a convener of the Democracy Hub or the protest.
Protest, yes.
So they'll say that they were arresting you because you're a convener, even though you were not at the demonstration.
Yeah, but they didn't say that.
They didn't say
Nobody said why we're being picked up. And, you know, sometimes we wanted to even know if they were sure these were the people you were picking up. Yes. Because like I said, we're sitting down having a few drinks, having a conversation, and they just barge in and then say, you're all arrested. Yes. So we're asking, what's the arrest for? I mean, how do you even know who you're arresting? They didn't answer any of those, just bundled all of us outside. And it was 4 police pickups and a police bus that came to pick 7 people up. So even how the whole thing was done, they were not sure who they were going to arrest. Because how do you bring 4 police pickups, a whole police bus, to arrest 7 people?
Okay, hold on for me, Field Marshal Ayi. Thank you for those of you joining us via Zoom. I will not immediately have your names. I think I have some of your names, about a dozen of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's see you, all of you, joining us via Zoom.
Yes.
Right. Hey, that's Felicity. Right. So let's begin with who? The one.
Emmanuel's on the left, top left.
No, not Felicity. Felicity, we have heard her quite a while.
Emmanuel's
yes.
Top
Is it Emmanuel?
Yeah, John.
Hi, Emmanuel John. Please unmute your mic. Please unmute your mic.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Great. I can hear you now. How are you doing today?
By the grace of God, I feel a bit okay now because I'm outside the cells now, so I feel a bit okay.
Right. It must feel very different, right?
Yes, it's been a very hard experience. I've never experienced this thing before, so it's a very hard experience for me.
Okay. So you were picked up on which day?
Yeah, I was picked up on 22nd. And it was on Sunday. Yeah, actually, we were transferred from Ablekuma Health Center to have my wife delivered at the 37 Military Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, go ahead.
We were transferred there because the pregnancy was in a transverse position. They said it's breech. So on the 20th, by the grace of God, she delivered without the operation. But then they wanted her to spend the following day to make sure that she's okay. So on the 21st, I was inside the hospital unless they needed something, and then I'll go to the 37 lorry station to buy whatever they need. Then I'll come back. So we were discharged on the 22nd, and the amount that they wanted me to pay was 2,398. But then my money wasn't enough, and my phone was also going low. I also have 2 chargers at home, so I didn't want to buy additional chargers. So I went to the lorry station and paid 2 cedi for them to charge my phone for me. In fact, when I went to pay for the first 2 cedi, I went back to the hospital. But when I came back, we realized the charger wasn't properly positioned.
Okay, so tell me this, Ima. You were arrested and you got information that your wife was in labor. Is that what you're saying? Or you were arrested together with your wife?
No, I was transferred from one hospital to 37 military hospital because of my wife's condition.
So he was not.
Her pregnancy was in a breech position.
Okay.
So I came to 37 purposely because of my wife was transferred from Ablekuma Health Center. Yeah, to be assisted in delivery at the 37 military hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so she delivered on the 20th. But then they wanted to be sure that she's okay. So on the 21st, we weren't discharged.
Are you saying you were not participating in the demonstration?
Not at all.
Oh,
not
I see.
All. But after charging my phone, I had no place to wait than the first shade. In fact, that very day, which was on the Sunday, the cars were moving, so the demonstrators weren't on the road. They were under the shades.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to place my phone and I found out that the first time it wasn't placed properly, I decided to hang around so that when I get about 10% or 20%, I can start making my calls.
Okay.
So I came to sit at the first shade from the 37 lorry station. There is a coconut seller.
And that's where you got arrested?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
So you lost contact with your wife?
Actually, my phone was on charge. And when they arrested us, the demonstrators were even telling them that we are not part of them. I think it was me together with other 3 or 4 guys who were just passing by. So the demonstrators were even telling them that we are not part of them, blah, blah, blah. And after, but they still took us to the car.
All right. So this is what I want to know.
When we went to the car,
your phone was not with you. It was being charged.
Yeah, exactly.
So you didn't get access to your phone anymore?
Exactly.
When did you get to your phone?
It was later when they decided to ask questions and find. It was initially when they arrested us. After the demonstrators had told them I'm not part of them, I also told them to assist me with 2 policemen to escort me to the hospital because we were right in front of the hospital. So I pleaded with them to assist me with 2 officers,
right,
to escort me to the maternity ward to find out whether what I'm saying is true or not.
And they didn't do that too. They did that for you?
No, they didn't do that.
They didn't.
No, they only
so from that day, when was the last time you got to be able to make contact with your wife, who was at the hospital?
It was in the evening when we got to Central Police Station. They asked me I can let my CID call someone for me. So I tried my wife's phone. It was off because the time I was living there, she had only 1% too. And then I called my uncle. So it was my uncle who followed up, and then later the other ladies came to ask me.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Mohammed Belal, are you on with us? Mohammed Nabong Tanko Dokas. Is that Sharifa I can see? Hi, Sharifa.
Uncle.
Sharifa, unmute your mic.
Uncle.
Sharifa, unmute your mic. Hello. Hello, Sharifa. Manuel Baini, are you there? Any one of you, unmute and let's talk. Hello?
Hello, this is Ebenezer.
Hi, Ebenezer. So,
yes.
Where were you picked up when?
Actually, that was on the second day of the protest.
Right.
I was picked up close to the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church at 37 roundabout. I was the 3rd person who was picked up on the second day, and it was not easy at all. I think about 150 policemen arrested me, only me. They surrounded me with their whatever.
Were you alone?
Caught me. Yes, I was alone.
You're alone. You are demonstrating alone.
Yes, I was with my friends, but then I was alone, standing there alone. with the media. I was engaging the media when they arrested me.
How important is the demonstration to you?
Actually, it's very important to me though, because I went to a village where children were drinking this muddy water, and I thought my kids would have been drinking the same water. So I joined the demonstration, and I was arrested on the second day.
Okay, what were you told when you were arrested?
Actually, they didn't tell us anything. They just sent us to regional headquarters, and then that was it.
Okay, so they told you that you had a right to a lawyer of your choice, and that if you say anything, it can be used against you in court, and then you can call a lawyer of your choice. They told you all of that?
No, they took our phones, everything from us, that we can't call anybody.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Oh, very sure. King Hassan was there.
Who else is on there? Open your line and talk to me. Sharifa.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Comrade Abubakar.
Yes, Abubakar. You were picked up. You were not told anything. Your phone was taken away from you. Is that what happened?
Yeah, the same thing. I was picked up at the 37 military hospital. That's military truck station. That's the 37 truck station. I was picked up with our mother. That's the fair-colored woman. With his granddaughter. We were picked up, and we never know the reason why we were picked up, because we were in an empty bus without no passenger. We were just there, just having some little conversation with ourselves, and just of a sudden they came and surrounded us and said, "You guys," I was a Rasta man being handcuffed at the back, with the Ghana flag, beer tested.
Right.
I was the one.
Right. Tell us a bit about your experience in the custody. How many times were you fed, for example? Did you have time to take a shower? What?
What really happened is that going to the custody, this is not my first time. To say, I've been going to the custody since my 16 years. Since I've been 16. Yeah, because, I'm a fighter. I was born in a family of, a warrior family. We don't give up. We stand for humanity. We stand for what is right. We stand for truth. So that has been my storyline.
Okay.
Getting to the custody, and we're not being given food Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until Thursday. When we got to the court, they lied on us that they've been bringing us. And we said it's a lie. And then after that, as soon as we got to the custody, maybe you might not know about what they call it. The tradition over there. You have to pay a cell fee to cell leader. But after that, I and my colleague, we took over the cell. We took over the cell. Because, we know where we are coming from.
Right.
We are dealing with the state, not the kids in the cells.
Right.
So,
this what I want. I want to talk to gender balance. The lady on call with us, not Felicity. There's another lady I saw. Sharifa. Hello, Sharifa. Sharifa, unmute your mic and let's speak quickly. Okay. While Sharifa is still trying to sort out, I'll come back to you. Hello, Felicity.
Hi, Samson. Her name's actually Dorcas. It's not Sharifa. Sharifa hasn't managed to join yet. It's Dorcas.
Okay, it's Dorcas who is on. Right.
It's Vera. Mine is Vera. So you can speak to Vera.
Vera. Hello, Vera. Well, let me talk to you, Felicity. So what's the circumstances around which you were also picked up? And what were you told? And what was your circumstance where you found yourself?
Okay, so I was picked up. I was standing by 37 around the coconut cellar. It's like on the right-hand side. And I was on the wall. I was actually doing a live, just kind of talking about the Galamsey issue, just kind of, telling people that, I think I was actually even telling people that it's safe for them to come, they can still come out. And then I just saw the police approaching. So I turned my camera actually towards the police and just to see, because I was intrigued when I saw them approach. And, you know, as I approached, I thought, well, I'm not doing anything illegal, so they can come. They get there, take your phone away from her, take your phone away from her. And then they wrestle my phone out of my hand. And then they actually they start pushing me aggressively. And I had to stop and say, you don't need to push me. If you want me to walk, I can walk, but you don't need to actually aggressively do it.
Great.
I actually saw actually hit Amma Governor, who was next to me, on the back. So she was like shouting about that. And this police, these were male policemen, but these were male police officers, by the way. So as soon as they were trying to push me, I had that, don't touch me. A female police officer came in and she just said, don't leave her alone, I'll take her. So she held my hand and she walked me towards like where the police wanted us to gather. So we gathered in the group and they started telling everybody to bring their phones and to bring their phones. And I said to them, you're taking everyone's phone. You're not asking us for our names. How are you going to be able to identify whose phone is whose? And then I remember Emmanuel was there at the time and he was saying, I'm not part of it. And I said to him, yeah, like he's not here to protest. And he's telling that he's, you know, you can just, if you don't believe him, and he was saying, you know, come with me to the hospital. You can affirm the fact that my wife's actually on admission. I said to him, like, why can't you people just listen to him? Like, please, someone should just go with him. So all of this is happening. But in all this, I remember, I haven't been told I'm under arrest. I haven't been told. We're just kind of gathered. They gathered us around like in a circle. They even gave some of us seats to sit on, and we're just standing there not knowing what's happened. The next minute, they just said.
When did you eventually get your phone back?
I didn't receive my phone back until about 10 days later. And I actually want to make this point. So on the first day when I was arrested, when my lawyer came to the police station, I made her find my iPhone, and it showed that my phone had been blocked. And usually that happens when you put in the password too many times. When someone attempts to put in the password too many times, then iPhone like automatically blocks it.
So there was an attempt to access your phone.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that. And Felicity has been telling me yesterday, for those of you who joined us on Newsfile, how the circumstances she got herself in, she's asthmatic, she got an attack, she was taken to the hospital. The hospital actually established that she needed her inhaler. There was no inhaler. It cost about $140,000. The police can't get that amount. They couldn't get it for her. They had to take her away. In fact, her sister visited her at the police station. She was told that she was not there. And on that account, they didn't even ask to take the inhaler from her so she could have access to the inhaler, which meant that she was being put at a place where she could die. Yes, is it Vera? Hello, Vera. Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes. When and where were you picked up?
At the 37, just close to the lorry station.
All right. So
that's where we picked up. So it was me, my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's brother.
Okay.
The three of us were picked up together.
You had gone there to participate in the protest, right?
No, we were just passing by. So
really?
Initially. Yes, please. So Amma is my friend, and initially we were from a funeral. Before we passed by the 37, we heard that there was something going on, and then my boyfriend's friend, who is a journalist, he said he wanted to take some videos and then interview some of the people. So we decided to pass by 37 so that he can do that. Okay. So we got there and I saw Amma and I spoke to her and she told me what was going on. So I was like, why is this going on? And like we talked for a while. So after that, we were just standing by the roadside waiting for the guy to finish with his interview and then like the pictures and all. We stood there. It wasn't even up to 30 minutes. And then the police came and picked us up.
And your phone was taken away from you?
Yes, it was taken when they took us to sit. Initially, I thought they were just asking us to move from the roadside. But when they took us and then they told us to sit down, we sat. And then they told us to give them our phones. So we were wondering, what have we done? Why are you arresting us? We haven't done anything. So why did you pick us up? What happened? Like, They weren't saying anything.
They eventually took your phone. When did you get your phone back?
I got my phone after a week.
After a week?
Yes.
All right.
It was on a Sunday. So
okay.
Exactly 1 week after I got arrested.
Okay. So tell us about the circumstances in the cell you found yourself. You had access to your lawyer, you had access to your family, you were served food.
When they picked us up, that first night, they took me to Tesano police station. I was at the Dovsu area because that was where their female cell was.
Right.
So I was there, and then on Monday, some people came to see me, and then the police got angry. They started shouting at them that no one can see me, no one can talk to me. I was like, nobody even knows I am here. I can't even call my family to even inform them that I have been arrested, nothing. And they said, no, I can't talk to anybody. Nobody can visit me, nothing at all. So I was wondering why people came there and they sacked them. It got to a point, the police were sitting outside, and then anybody that comes, they tell them that I am not there. I've been moved from Tesano. So I didn't get access to talk to people. So from Sunday till Tuesday, none of my family members knew that I had been picked up by police.
I see.
Nobody at all.
Okay, Vera, hold on there for me, and I come back to you, Phil, Michelle, me. So you have heard people express some disgust and anger, for example, about the convener Oliver picking the key to police tow truck, and then the story is that he picked it and threw it away or something. Now he's been charged with stealing that key. What do you know about that circumstance?
Right. So one of the mistakes we made was we did not cover the entire event to have a narrative from our side. What happened was the police, however, were there present, recording every step of the way, and they had gone ahead to go spin the story to their advantage. The video that's going around, you see Oliver pull out the key from the truck and then abscond with, was only because he was preventing an accident from happening. Just before that scene, the police had come trying to tow our vehicle away, our van. Now that...
Your van, you had a van
was a
for
mini
what
tram,
purpose?
yes. That was our humanitarian vehicle. So we had medical...
What does it mean to say humanitarian?
So we had medical supplies.
We have a video, we'll show it to you.
Awesome, yeah. So we had our medical supplies in there for, any...
Like for first aid?
First aid supplies, yes. We had water, relief items for the demonstrators. All of that were kept in that vehicle. So when the police sought to take that away, one would have...
The police wanted to tow that truck away?
Tow that truck away, yes.
So that's the video we are looking now.
In trying to tow the truck...
You guys are leaning on that truck?
Yes.
Okay, and the police tow truck is the one that someone is sitting
on the ramp,
All
yes.
right. Okay.
So the police were still going ahead to pull the car in, to reel it in. Now, that could have caused injuries. So in trying to get them to stop that, Oliver sought to turn off the ignition so then the car could not be towed up there. Because what the police had to do was to clear the people from the vehicle so you could take the vehicle away. But since the people were close to it, they were still insisting, and you see that's a cable you see, a metal cable. If that thing should snap, that would be serious injuries that would be caused. So in trying to prevent any further injuries from occurring, Oliver went in there and turned the ignition off to stop the car from being towed. This part of the narrative is not being put out there. It's just so to show he going to then take the key out, trying to make it sound and make it look as if he's being mischievous. But Oliver was actually trying to prevent injuries to the protesters, and that's what the police should have done. But they didn't care about the safety of the people. They were just bent on towing.
Why did they say they wanted to tow your truck away?
There was no reason.
Okay.
There was no reason. Just the fact that it was our vehicle there, they needed to get it out of the space. And we're saying no. We have all our supplies in that car. So if you take it away and anything happens right now, who's going to provide first aid? They didn't care. They were not having it.
But the danger would have been caused on the account that they are trying to tow their vehicle away, and you guys are preventing, and they are still insisting that they have to tow the vehicle.
Right.
So it is if you moved away, they can tow it away peacefully without any problems.
Or if the police had moved them away, then they could have taken the car away. Because you see, there's one thing about protests. People come there agitated. Right, they are concerned about certain issues they're trying to draw attention to. So it is for the training of the police to de-escalate the situation at every step of the way. Now, if, of course, there'll be excesses, because the people are admitted they're agitated, right? But the police, with their training, have to remain professional to be able to de-escalate situations. So if you come to the protesters and you say you're going to tow away their vehicle, of course, they're not going to sit back and let you do that.
Right.
But that's where your training should step in. Try to make them understand why it is necessary. And if that fails, you try to de-escalate, move the people away from the car.
So there is a reason and a purpose for which he took the key.
Exactly. Not.
And what did he do with the key?
So the thing is this. When he took it, he had two options. But the objective was to make sure the police do not take the vehicle away.
To immobilize
that
the
was,
vehicle.
yes.
All right.
To save protesters around from injuries. Because like I said, if that cable had snapped, there would have been. So in trying to prevent injuries, he did that to take the key. Now, if he was standing right there, they would have just
moved further and then still gave the key to the police.
Exactly. So the thing is,
they can come back and start the vehicle. So,
but then we were hoping.
What do you achieve?
So we're hoping that short while would have gotten them to de-escalate the situation.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. You're still here on The Law, and we're having a conversation with some of the people who were picked up at the demonstration organized by Democracy Hub, and at which 54 of them were picked up, and now 53 are on bail.
It's actually 53 and then one still held, so 52 out.
Say that again?
So it's actually 53 that were picked up. 52 are out on bail, except Oliver, that's the 53rd. Yes.
So it's not 54?
No, it's actually 53.
It's actually 53?
Yes, and then 52 now out.
But I think as we see even your lawyer's account and the police account, it's actually 54.
This is actually...
And you have 53 out now, and Oliver makes 54.
Well, there's different conflicting stories. This is actually the sheet from court.
Okay.
The detention sheet, yeah.
Okay.
That gives 53.
It gives... Okay.
And then
53.
Oliver being the first one. Yes.
Oliver is here.
Yes.
So it's 53.
53.
So let's redesignate our title.
Yes.
Now I'm going to Martin Pebu shortly, but I was coming to you, Killian. So you were taken to Nsawam prison. How did you feel about that? You were supposed to be there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. It came as a shock to me. From Odoko's cell. They came on that Tuesday morning, came and handcuffed me like a common criminal, like someone that the government has given concession to as part of those polluting the water bodies. Handcuffed me like a common criminal, like a government official who has embezzled Ghana's money, and the people are suffering. No, I just took I just have said. So when we got to court, in fact, Samson, to be honest with you, you have a disjointed and a dysfunctional police system. Samson, what I saw at the police headquarters, with all that we went through in the hands of the police from the CID, Samson, you have a disjointed, a dysfunctional, unprofessional police system. Forget about the uniform they wear.
Using words, expressions, you are not giving me the evidence of what you're saying.
I will give you the evidence.
Quickly.
Samson, Killian was arrested and taken to Nsawam prison because of my brother Jerry Pesanu, aka Maya, that was murdered in the Volta region, 6th of June, by 2 constables, Jeremiah Osabote and Erika Santi. Your sister station, Adum TV, covered that demonstration and the press, everything in the Volta region. I went there to stage a demonstration against the police command to make sure those 2 miscreants are arrested. To date, those guys have not been arrested. On their social media page, for almost like 40 days, I was posting the pictures of Jeremiah Osabote and Erika Santi on their social media page. The IGP arrests these guys. They have killed my brother, Jerry Pesanu, aka Maya. He died in police custody. Till date, as I speak to you, Jerry's body is still in the mark.
If they wanted to arrest you, they could find you and arrest you.
Exactly.
For you to come to a demonstration
exactly.
to arrest you.
So now this is the catch.
No, I'm saying the claim you are making, they could have arrested you anywhere. They wouldn't have waited for you to be there.
Exactly. So already I was in their bad book. They are also in my bad book. So the day I went to the demonstration ground, when I sent a message to my friends, one of my friends went to the police headquarters with my picture. You guys have arrested my brother. His name is JM. And the policeman at the station told him that this guy, Killian, was arrested because he's always bashing us on social media. We know he's not part of the demonstrators.
Hold on briefly. Hello,
Thank you.
Martin Kpebu. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Samson.
Okay, Martin Kpebu is a senior lawyer. He's been to the Supreme Court and fought for freedoms of many people. He does a lot of these processes, and it is because of him that today in Ghana, every offense is bailable. Until he went to the Supreme Court, there were certain offenses like murder, like various of them that were not, bailable. Now, first of all, the accounts we hear is that they get arrested, they are not told why they are arrested, and their phones are taken away from them. And he sounded like a law student. He said they are Miranda rights. What is that? Did the police breach anything there?
Absolutely, Samson. I would say absolutely, because so far, the police have not been able to deny this particular charge. That is to say, the Miranda rights, starting this way. Under Article 14 plus 2, which mirrors the Miranda rights, which is that when a person is arrested, he must be told immediately in a language that he understands the reason for his arrest. The reason for his arrest. And then of his right to a lawyer and the right to silence. So if you put them together, you get the Miranda rights. If you don't educate the suspect who has just been arrested of that right to silence and to a lawyer, and you seek to take information from that person without these rights being guaranteed, that evidence is unlawful and it will not be accepted in a court of law.
Interesting.
It would not. So you have to read this.
How about the seizure of their phones from them? Does the police do anything wrong? If they arrest you, they seize your phone. What's wrong with that?
Well, the seizure on practical grounds, yes, you can take the phone, but the police don't have a right to go into the phone without the consent of the suspect. So there's a High Court decision to that effect. Justice Ramsay did that case.
That's right.
Before our good friend, you call
Anthony
him
Yeboah.
Denny, Anthony
Yeboah.
Anthony Yeboah,
Yeah.
yes, Ghana's Lord Denny. So the High Court has affirmed that right. Now listen, when you seize it, because you are taking him into custody, something by practice, they won't allow you to go into cells with even all your clothing. They'll have to strip you and leave you with a singlet and boxers.
Okay.
So naturally, the phone doesn't follow. But when they take it, the police themselves, by their protocols, are to give you access to the phone to make calls. Yesterday and then today, I played it back when you sent it to me. I listened to your interview with Felicity, where she said for over 10 days, she never got access to the phone, didn't get access to call her relations. That is a total breach of her rights. A total breach of her rights, because even under Article 19, Clause 2, she has a right to facilities to prepare her defense.
Right.
So she needs the phone to be able to call relations. She needs the phones to call experts, including lawyers. You see, so the police have totally breached that right, because in all of the updates they've given, I think I've read up to 6 or 7, in none of them could they rebut the allegation that they did not read the Miranda rights. That's to say, they didn't do the arrest properly and they didn't inform these suspects at the time and now accused persons of their rights to lawyers, of their right to silence. You see, so this is a total disgrace. I know something. I brought their book, the Police Service Instructions, right? Their own books, where under Order 2, Rules 13 and 14. So let me just read 14. It says, in the performance of their duties, police officers shall respect and protect human rights, dignity, maintain and uphold the rights for all persons. And then the 13 is against torture, violence, and ill treatment. And you go on and on. And Samson, you and I know this is not the first time the police have this book. From the 60s, they had the old version, where even in the old one, they expressly wrote they had to give food, medicine, etc. to suspects. So how come in 2024, all these rights have been thrown to the dogs?
I had been arguing that when they picked them up and there was a holiday, they could have processed them and granted them bail by themselves as the police. But when they couldn't do that and they took them to court, because these are misdemeanors, they ought to have been granted bail. And if they were not granted bail that day, they should perhaps, the matter should have been adjourned to the next day rather than 14 days for them to be in custody. What do you think about it?
I go with you, Samson. Absolutely. Because, as you rightly said, these are misdemeanors, mostly. Leave aside the charge of the matter of stealing the keys, all right? Most of them, they are misdemeanors, the smallest of offenses. And what is the context? Under Section 96, subsection 5, if a judge is going to consider bail, is to look at the nature of the accusation and the evidence. The context of this case is that Chairman Wuntumi did galamsey in the Tano Nimiri Forest. 4 of us, myself, Engineer Ashibe, Kwame Sapoesedu, and Edem Senanu, we presented a petition to the police on 13th October 2022. We gave it to Faustina and Okofi, CID boss. Then later, within a week, Ashibe and the rest of the Media Commission presented a similar petition against Chairman Wuntumi and Akunta Mani to IGP directly. Till date, nothing has been done. So that was one of the main reasons for the demonstration. So as a judge, when people are brought before you in this context over misdemeanors, you would not remand them. So with due respect, Justice Kwabena Kwabia Obri-Yebua and Evelyn Asamoah didn't exercise their discretion properly in remanding this accused person. There was no justification whatsoever for their remand. And you see...
Yeah, unfortunately, we have run out of time, but tell me this in quickly. Now that almost all of them have spent a minimum of 14 days in custody, supposing they are found not to be guilty, what happens? What remedies do they have? Supposing some of them are found guilty, what happens? They have already spent 14 days in custody.
So those who have been found not to be guilty under Article, in the spirit of Article 14.7, you're looking at when a person is being wrongly convicted, but here there's no conviction, right? So let's say this. Those who have spent more than 48 hours in custody, they can sue. The last time I did one for one Asante, we got 30,000. So those who were kept beyond 48 hours, they can sue for compensation.
The police said only 2 people were kept beyond 48 hours. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, in the unlikely event that some are found guilty, the time they've already spent in custody will be taken into account. As you know, usually for misdemeanors, the punishment is a fine. But now that these people have even spent time in custody, the judge may look at that and not fine them much.
All right.
Reduce it substantially.
Thank you very much, Martin. There's a lot to be said, but time has run out. 30 seconds each. What would you say, Field Marshal Ayi?
Yes, so this will go out to the youth of Ghana. Our fight is a call of duty. The national anthem enjoins us to rise up to defend our country at any time our services are demanded. Now, none of us is a criminal. Fighting for your country is not a crime. But we will continue this fight until Ghana becomes victorious. It is very clear that our nation has been hijacked by criminals.
Somebody says, tell them they were fighting a good fight, but they messed up.
That's his opinion. He's entitled to it.
Okay.
Yes. So, like I was saying, this is a call of duty to rise up to defend our nation. It's clear, it's obvious that our nation has been usurped or hijacked by criminals. And this is where our national anthem enjoins us to rise up to defend our nation whenever the call comes.
Thank you. 30 seconds.
Samson, we've had enough of the criminals masquerading themselves as what?
Leaders.
Leaders. We've had enough of them. And again, what is Oliver's crime? Why are they keeping him in detention? Is he a criminal?